Hello, lovelies. Tina Stanzak, Emptynestscrapin, Stamping Up Demonstrator, here today for a Tidy Up Tuesday. Today I am going to talk stamp organization with you. And yes, we are looking at my stamp card purchased from the Container Store. I use Close to My Heart products for 28 years. And then I was a demonstrator from or consultant from 2019 to 2024 and then switched over to Stampin' Up. So these are my Close to My Heart stamps. And excuse the little jiggle and maybe the foot in the camera. Yes, I'm sitting on my floor to film this for you. I do have a Close to My Heart box tucked underneath, and I must have tucked it under sideways. And this is all my M size or tiny size stamps. So I don't use these that often. There are a whole bunch of little stamps in here, like that's the Roman Colosseum. And these were great little giveaways for, and I did squeeze some smaller stamps in there. Like this family is just 1/10 away from a full-blown circus. Yep. So those are my smaller stamps. Then in the bottom drawer here, I have everything is in order by SKU number. So there are some older stamps in the front that did not have dies with them. As you go further back in time, as you go further back, you will see all the stamps with the thin cuts or the dies are towards the back. And there is a little bit of room in here. I need to put some stamps away, and I could fit a few more. On the top are some smaller stamps and some really, really old stamps like this Girl Scout stamp. But this oldie but a goodie. Love the Girl Scout cookie stamps, especially since I was a cookie mom for a while. All right, so we're going to try and stand up. Hope the knees cooperate and you don't get too seasick. In the top here, I have another bin that I got at the Container Store, which I'm not sure that they sell anymore. And this is all my stamp of the month. So you see this is S2405. So the year is 2024. S is for stamp of the month. The year is 2024 and 05 is May. So that may be the last stamp of the month they made. So this is how I have all my stamps stored right now. Then switch to Stampin' Up, and they are not going to fit in the 6x6 envelopes or in my 6x6 containers, even though, I mean, I could switch them all to that because you see, I have some space. I could fit some more things in there, although like I said, I don't have quite everything put away. So, conundrum, what do we do with the Stampin' Up goodies? Yes, I am still kind of sitting on my floor to film the rest of this. So here is what we would call the normal Stampin' Up packaging, and it is the DVD case, and that's lovely if that was their only packaging. However, this is their dies, and you see what I was doing was printing out a picture of the name of the die set, the SKU number, and exactly what dies were in there, because I really hated the packaging. I hated the fact that I could not see what dies were in the package. And then, yes, yet another package size for dies. So this one is Notes and Totes, and because there's more dies, there's another package size. And then, of course, we have the new slimline packaging, which is taller and wonderful if you want to fit more dies in the package, because you can fit more dies in the package. So when you look at the fact that I have 4 different types of packages, and I'm sure that this is what Stampin' Up looked at, they said we had 4 different packaging SKUs. That makes it hard to pack and ship, etc., because you got 4 different sizes you're dealing with. So that is just not efficient and effective. I am really glad that Stampin' Up switched to the new stamp and die organizer envelopes. I think these envelopes are going to work for me. Having one package size instead of 3 or 4 package sizes is a good change. With that said, I ordered some stamp and storage magnetic cards to go with my system. And I'm very excited because my package came today. I bought the magnet cards on the 20% off sale. I bought these myself so that I could try them myself and give an honest review. Anybody who knows me knows that I have been doing scrapbooking for about 30 years. My oldest child was born 29 years ago. I found Close to My Heart right very early in the process. I love their albums, I love their page protectors, and I love the quality of the albums and page protectors, as well as their 12 by 12 sheets and their workshops. So here we go. I'm pulling the product out. There are 5 sheets in this package. It's supposed to fit in the Stampin' Up! New size package envelopes, and it looks like it's going to fit. I'm using my Cricut pointy tool, technical name, pointy tool, to open the package here, and then I'm going to give a look at this magnet. So they look pretty sturdy, they're pretty solid, they're pretty thick. They have a little sheet of paper in between them for protection, and yep, they're all there in the package. So let's go ahead and pull one of these out. So I'm starting with a stamp and die set that is in the new package. It is the Greenery Lane dies as well as stamps. I'm just pulling the plastic piece off, and I'm going to stick that straight up on the plasticky side for, yeah, another technical term, the plasticky side, not the magnetic side. And now I'm going to peel all these magnets off, all these dies off and put them on the magnet. And I've seen some ladies who use this sticky tape over and over again, and they have no problem peeling them off. Well, this sticky tape is really sticky, and I'm bending the paper awfully while I'm trying to peel these dies off, and I just know I'm going to like having them on a magnet. It's going to be a lot easier. You see, I'm pulling my tool out and trying to pry them off the tape because I just can't use my fingernails and get them off. So yes, I'm struggling here to get all the dies off. So what my plan is that I'm going to put the stamps on one side, the dies on the other side, and I am going to use the Stampin' Up! Packaging because the new packaging shows what the dies look like, and it also shows what the stamps look like. So I'm going to go ahead and slide this in the envelope, and then I'll slide the paper packaging over it. And so far, the new packaging is working very well with the magnetic card that's supposed to go with the new packaging. So now I'm going to try repackaging a stamp and die set that the stamp had come in the DVD case and the die had come in the older style die packaging, and I had removed the stamp from the DVD case and slid it in with the dies so that I had them all in the same place and they were easier to find, but I had used the die packaging versus the DVD packaging. So far, so good. Moving things from the die packaging is working out very well. Everything is fitting nicely. So back to my history. Yes, I used Close to My Heart for about 28 years. And I was only a consultant from 2019 to 2024 when they went out of business for about 5 years. And in those 5 years, well, plus the time I spent buying product and using it, from the time they launched acrylic stamps until now, I managed to accumulate about 190 normal size stamps. So that's about 4 stamps a quarter, plus one of the smaller stamps every month. So the smaller stamps, I'm happy with having them in that little box that I can just grab whenever I need. And the larger stamps are in the 6x6 envelopes. And my system works great because I have everything organized by SKU number, and then I have it in OneNote. So if I want a stamp that says thinking of you, I go into OneNote on my iPad, I type thinking of you in the search bar, and I come up with the 10 stamps that say thinking of you, and I have the images in the database so I can just pull whatever image or font I like and go ahead and do that. So yes, I'm showing you here that the packaging, the Stampin' Up! Label or paper that shows the dies and stamps is not the same size as the magnetic card, but it does show all of the stamps. It does not show the dies. So I think I'm just going to leave the dies facing outwards, so I'll just be able to pull it off the shelf and see what the dies look like. All right, so now we're moving on to the next style of packaging. In this case, I had taken the dies and I had put them in the case, in the DVD case with the stamps, and I had placed all the stamps on top of the pictures. So now I am removing those stamps and trying to make them fit in basically the same space so that I can put that piece of plastic on top of them, but I don't get it quite right, so I have to go back and move all my stamps around a little bit so I can get the piece of plastic fitting on top where everything is supposed to be. So yes, I had my items packed many different ways. I'm just getting all the stamps wiggled and jiggled around so that I can get them in the correct space so the plastic can fit on. There we go. Now I'm pulling the label out of the DVD case. In this case, I haven't messed with the label, so I'm trying to figure out how I can make it fit in the new stamp and die organizer, and folding it that way didn't work. Folding it along the existing fold lines, so you have to fold it exactly in half to get it to slide in the front there. So now I'm just going to go ahead and move all these magnets over to the magnet card. I am really excited about the fact that I won't have to be pulling things off of sticky tape going forward. So after being a close to my heart consultant for 5 years, yes, I had 190 stamps, and I bought the IKEA cart, and I have them all organized by SKU number, and I have them all in OneNote, and everything's easy to find, and I just love that. So as I am buying, stamping up stamps and dies, I am putting them in OneNote, and I am able to search the whole database to find what I want when I want it. And you can see here that there are a lot more dies, and they're almost filling up the whole part of the magnet. So for the larger die sets, this larger magnet is very nice. And in some of the previous packaging, Stamping Up had sent 2 separate paper sheets of dies, and I'm able to fit that all on the same magnet too. So I'm showing you how fat the packaging was before and how slim those 3 packages that I've already configured are. So now I'm moving on to the last 2 packages. I have a couple more that I'm giving a try, and these I'm pulling out of the DVD cases. So now I'm working on the celebratory sips stamps and stamp and die bundle or whole suite, and I got the stamps on the card. I'm going to go ahead and pull the label out of the DVD case, and you can see that I cut the spine off of that label at some point in time because I had tried to move it into the die case, and then I tried to move it, I don't remember, but this is the first time I'm putting it in the new stamp and die organizer. And yes, I had my stamps and dies in 3 different types of packaging, just like Stamping Up did. I kept trying different things, trying to figure out what was going to work because I really wanted to get all my stamps and dies into a single type of packaging that worked for me. So I'm just sliding that label in the case and off to the races we go. I'm not going to lie to you. These magnet cards are pricey, and I don't plan on buying a lot of the stamp and die organizers. I am lucky because I just started with Stamping Up, so I don't have a lot of stamp and die sets, and for me to convert over is pretty easy. So on this particular set, you can see this is the washi tape set, and it also comes with stamps that you can stamp, and I had cut some of the washi out and adhered it to the front of the stamps just so that I would know what stamp was what and I wouldn't lose the washi pieces. I'm going to have to find a little plastic bag to put those washi pieces in. I again am folding the DVD label in half, and then I am going to slide the die label. I was trying to see if the die would fit the other way, but it won't. I'm going to slide the die label inside of the stamp label, and I'm putting all those little extra pieces of washi in there. So when I need some washi pieces, they're right there with the stamp and the die. And again, I'm really happy with the way this is looking. I'm stacking them all up together. I even with the older style labels, they don't quite fit, not perfect, but it's great. Look how thin that solution is. Oh, that is so beautiful. I'm folding them out like a deck of cards. I am so much happier with this storage solution. And yes, I was spoiled by the Close to My Heart storage solution, where the stamps and the dies and the magnet all came in the same package together, but I feel that this will be a comparative solution. So far, I'm very happy with the stamp and storage magnet card paired with the Stampin' Up! Stamp and Die organizers. I'm going to have to give it a try for about a month, make sure that things aren't falling apart. But right now, nothing is falling off the magnetic card. Everything's in the envelopes nicely. I have one style of packaging instead of three styles of packaging, so this is making me very happy. So have a great Tidy Up Tuesday, folks. I hope this helps you out with deciding how you should store your stamps and dies going forward. Signing off, Tina Stanczak, Empty Nest Scrapping, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator.